Hey guys, what's up? Today I'm going to share with you a couple short stories, and I have a lot of these so I can break this up into a couple videos. But these aren't paranormal stories necessarily, but I want them to be my creepy life stories, things that make you think, kind of mysterious, scary things, not really having to do with like ghosts or anything like that. They're quite interesting to me. I'm gonna give you guys a small neighbor update today and kind of like two other things that have happened around my apartment complex that are just so freaking weird to me. It's just weird, you guys, but I'm kind of excited just to like talk to you guys today and share with you these little stories, and we're just gonna hang out. What is a Friday without a spooky Olivia video? Am I right? I feel like I do at least one of these a week, but that's okay. That's what I like to do. So let's get on with the stories. The first story is one of my favorite stories that my dad has literally ever told me because it's just like a movie moment. I don't understand how he did not freak out and just like absolutely cry himself to sleep at night. I don't really know. I probably would. This story is back in the day before me and my sister were even born, I'm pretty sure. And so my dad's a pretty good guy. He has a big heart, and he's been in this situation before, and apparently back in the day it was like a thing for people to actually hitchhike. And if you don't know what hitchhiking is, it's where you might be lost or you don't have a ride or something, so you like put your thumb out like this to the road and you're just kind of like standing on the side of the road and you hope somebody comes and picks you up and takes you where you need to go because you don't have any way of transportation. Of course, this was before Uber and all that stuff. So my dad had been in this situation. He had a lot of people pick him up when he was hitchhiking, and so we never had any issues, and he didn't really think anything bad about this. But it was nighttime, and my dad was kind of in the middle of nowhere on a long freeway. There was like nobody out, no cars, and there's also cornfields. That's literally what my dad said when I called him to ask him about this story so he could like refresh it for me. He was like, around cornfields. Can you just tell me like this is not like a movie moment? Like this is the scariest thing ever. I don't really understand. So there's cornfields. He's on this long stretch of road in the middle of nowhere, and he sees this guy standing out looking for a ride. He obviously has his hand out like this, and he needs a ride from somebody. My dad wasn't worried about anything, and so he stops on the side of the road and he lets this guy in his car and asks him where he needs to go. But imagine this, okay? It's late at night, you're by yourself, you pick up a hitchhiker in the middle of nowhere, and he starts talking to my dad. And he starts telling my dad the creepiest off-the-wall things. He's saying the most random things you could ever imagine. He had like crazy eyes. He had long stringy hair with like a lip in his hair. So like imagine like a middle part, but like there's kind of like a cowlick on it. And this is real, 100% legit. Could you imagine like if this happened to you? When he started talking, like the way he was talking, you know, it was like, okay, there's literally like a freaking murderer in my car. Yeah, he looks at my dad and he starts talking about stabbing people. I'm not kidding. He starts talking about stabbing people and killing people. So when I say this guy seemed like a murderer or killer, I'm not kidding right now. And my dad was literally so scared, but he took control of the situation. Luckily, my dad drove to like the next place that he could find, and he asked him to get out, and the guy actually got out. But let's be real here. My dad got absolutely blessed, because if this guy is like willing to get out and everything, obviously he was a little bit mentally crazy by the things he's talking about to a man that he's never met before, and he just picked up as a hitchhiker. And yeah, he got out of the car, but if he hadn't, he could have freaking hurt my dad. He could have killed my dad. He could have stole, you know, my dad's wallet and everything. Like, this was not a regular hitchhiker. Seriously, he was gonna do some damage, so thank God he didn't do anything. But yeah, apparently the things he was saying to my dad were just really, really scary, and that just freaks me out. I don't know, I don't think we should pick up hitchhikers anymore, especially in this day and age. So yeah, that is the first story about the creepy hitchhiker that my dad had to deal with. This is seriously my favorite story to tell, but it's not long enough for a story time by any means. It's just another short story, but this one actually happened to me. So I'm going to share this one, and then I'm going to save the other two that I have for another video. They're also some creepy short stories. But this one happened back with Ashley. Let's just be real here. Ashley is going to be in so many of my story times. So my old friend, ex-best friend, Ashley, and I went down to Popeyes to go get some chicken because that was my thing back in the day, let me tell you. We had our Popeyes and we're driving back to my apartment and we're taking like a back road on this street, and let me tell you, this city that we were in, I actually used to live there, this like little city in San Diego. It was kind of sketchy. It's kind of like known to have crime sometimes. It's just, I don't know, it's kind of not the best. Popeyes was like closing, so it was like late at night, by the way. It was probably like 9:30, 10. It's like pitch black outside, there's nobody out. So we're driving to the stop sign ahead of us, and adjacent to us, we're going to be turning left because that is the main street that we want to be on. So we drive to the stop sign, and we're just ready, you know, to wait for the cars to pass by on the main road, and then we're going to make our left turn and keep going down. And so we're stopped there for a second, and we're in her car, I'm in the passenger seat, and she's driving, and I am not kidding, this is exactly what went down. I've always wanted to tell this in a story time, but I've never it's not long enough. So basically, I look over to my right, and there is a man standing with a hat and a trench coat. I am not kidding. He was in a trench coat. He was an older man. He had facial hair, curly hair. He just looked so freaking creepy with that trench coat on. If the stop sign is on the sidewalk, and he's on the sidewalk right by the stop sign, and we're waiting at the stop light right there, whatever, the stop sign, he's very, very close to our car because he's just on the sidewalk right next to us. He bolts towards her car door. I'm looking at him, my heart starts racing, I'm screaming, I'm like, Ashley, go, 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 like don't even wait for these oncoming cars, there's like cars everywhere, and I'm like, don't even wait for them, and I'm like, go! So he attempts to get in, but right as he's going to grab the handle, and he grabbed the handle, she speeds off into traffic, literally doesn't hit a motorcycle by this much. We almost hit a motorcycle so much because we weren't supposed to go yet. There was still traffic moving, but everything happened so fast, and I was telling her to go, 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 which, you know, that's not a great idea, but it's either literally was go into oncoming traffic or have this man get in our car. And we're so lucky that we made it safe and we didn't hit anybody, and we were screaming the rest of the ride home, and we ran inside my house and we told my mom, and we just went through a lot of scary stuff together. She was also the one that we went through the guy that was like masturbating himself to us in public, and we had to go through like detectives and everything, so we went through like a lot of shit together, honestly. But he was trying to open her back door. He didn't get it because thank God the car was locked, but if the car was unlocked, this man literally would have opened our back door, he could have gotten in, and he could have freaking killed us. So that was the scariest moment of my life. I was probably 17 at the time, but it's something that will forever stick in my mind because you just, like, these are literally like real life horror movies. The things that you see in movies. A man trying to get into your car that you don't know. Freaking scary hitchhikers. It's real shit that goes down. That was one of the scariest things that will forever stick out in my mind. Now for a little bit of an apartment complex neighbor update. I just want to like tell you guys about this. There's not much to it. I have not seen the lady. I have not had intense things happen or anything like that. But there's a couple things that have been happening around the area lately that are just weird. Like, is it not so freaking weird? The thing that I can tell you that happened with the lady from my neighbor's story, which you guys might have seen, I made like a couple videos ago. The thing that I did here is I'm laying in my bed one night, but I know that it was this lady because I know exactly what I'm hearing from her house. I know where it's coming from. And so I'm just kind of like chilling, and I'm pretty sure it was nighttime. I'm pretty sure. And I'm listening, and all of a sudden, this weird, creepy music starts playing. Like, creepy music starts playing. And I'm not kidding. This lady, I know it's the lady, because I know her voice, it's very different. She starts singing in, like, a deep man's voice. Like, why are you singing in a deep man's voice? And it was like that opera sound again. It was so freaking weird, you guys. I had the chills all over my freaking body. Why the hell are you singing in a man's voice? Please no, you're freaking me out, girl. Can you not, please? Thank you. And then I've heard alarms coming from the house. I know for sure more alarms have been happening, and it's the only house, the only place where I ever hear an alarm. I don't understand. So that's the only update that I have with that person. I don't know. But with my apartment complex, if I have good footage of this, I will put it in. But this happened yesterday. 2 of these happened yesterday, so I'm just giving you updates on things that have happened before I'm filming this video. And there was a helicopter literally flying like right above my apartment complex, and it seemed like my building This lasted for probably 10 to 15 minutes. There was a helicopter literally circling our apartment complex, and it got my attention because it literally sounded like it was gonna land on top of my building, and it was that close, it was that loud, and it just stayed. It was like circling, and now, yeah, it was so loud that it caught my attention. And then I'm also thinking, okay, why do helicopters circle places? Because there's usually someone on the loose, or they're trying to catch someone, or there's like a searchlight. It was the daytime, so I couldn't see a searchlight or anything like that. But who the hell is flying their helicopter around my apartment complex for like 10 to 15 minutes? It's so loud, it was so disturbing. If I was filming, I would have had to like stop filming for like 15 minutes. So it was just like super weird, and I tried to get some video of it because I just didn't understand, and they were kind of just like floating around my building, like, but that happened yesterday. And then one other thing that happened right around my complex, see, I think it's my complex, I don't understand. It just gives me like weird vibes, it like gives me the creeps, you know what I'm saying? This is just a whole story time for creepy things that literally give me the chills and like run chills down my spine. That's basically what I'm doing with this video. I'm just, you know, telling you strange things. So I was driving home from Target, and I noticed that there was an abnormally large line going to the freeway. I was like, it never looks like that. Why is there so many people backed up to the other stoplight just to get onto the freeway? It's not even like a time of the day where it should be like that. It was weird. So I'm driving and I'm looking over, and I start to see cars kind of like swerving, and I kind of see a car like swerve into our lane, and I'm just kind of like, okay, what the heck? What is everybody swerving around? Why is there such a long line of cars? It just looked like a mess. And so I'm kind of looking, and I'm looking behind, and then I see this car. It's a little tiny tan car, and I'm like, okay, alright, yeah, I mean, it would just maybe be a stalled car, you know, someone's like, just gas ran out, you know, their car broke down, it's fine. But then if you took a closer look, which I think everybody was kind of like appalled and scared and confused, there was absolutely nobody in the car. There was nobody laying down, there was nobody like laying back in the seat. There was no one in the car. I guess maybe a solution could be that this person got out of their car, ran across the street, which if they did, there's a huge chance that they were going to get hit. And then kind of like went somewhere because their phone died, or they had no service, or they didn't have a phone or something like that to call like AAA. But other than that, I have no other explanations. Why would there be nobody in the car? If your car breaks down, who like abandons their car? Especially because, you guys, I totally forgot about this detail. This car was like in the middle of a turn. Like, it wasn't just like stalled like straight in the line of cars that were sitting there. It was like about to get over and turn. Like, it was like in the middle of a process with nobody inside, the car completely shut down. Can somebody explain that to me? Is it a ghost car? Was it a ghost person? I don't understand. Did they just disappear? Did they get abducted? I don't know. My mind is running. What is the world? What is life? I don't know. I found that to be super weird, and I've just found a lot of things lately to be super weird, and I wanted to add those 2 creepy stories of things that have happened to me. Let me know if you guys like these little creepy short stories, because I do have a lot of them. They're just not like big enough stories with backstories to add necessarily to its own story by itself, you know what I mean? So I'll think of more of these that have happened to me. I have 2 more, and I'll continue to give you updates if anything happens. And yeah, that is my creepy story time for today. I'll also do paranormal stories. Give me a big thumbs up if you want to see those too. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I really hope you enjoyed the video. Do not forget to subscribe to my channel. I upload videos every Monday and Friday. Also follow me on my social media. The links are down below. And give this video a big thumbs up if you liked it. It means so much to me. And I will see your lovely, beautiful faces in my next video. Bye guys.